everyone. Welcome to our interview session, which is a vital part of our group assignment. The main goal of this assignment is to immerse us in the real world challenges and opportunities faces by engineers today. It's an opportunity to learn directly from professionals in the field about their experiences and the impact of their work on society, including economic, social, cultural, environmental, and sustainability aspects. Today's session will not only help us enhance our understanding, but also allow us to engage with these issues in a professional dialogue, vital for our development as future engineers. So next slide. Next slide, please. Okay. Before we begin, let me introduce our group member, which is me as an MC today, Ikmal, Sharul and Baheki as an interviewers, Rafida and Amzar as technicians. Okay, next slide, please. Okay. I'm thrilled to introduce our esteemed interviewee, Mr. Amree Ansyahree bin Abdurrahim. Mr. Amree, age 35, hails from Sabah and is a proud alumni of University Kebangsaan Malaysia, where he earned his degree in chemical engineering. He currently serves as a chemical engineer at an edible oil refinery, bringing invaluable experience from his time as a senior engineer in the same industry. His extensive experience in chemical engineer in the edible oil sector provide us with a unique perspective on the complexities and responsibilities in this field. So let me begin our Q&A session. I will pass it to the interviewers. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, sir, are you ready
I'm ready, Sharon.
for the first question?
Mm.
Uh, why did you go into engineering? And from what you learned in school or university, did you apply any of it in your job scope as an engineer?
Okay. First of all, I want to say thank you for inviting me. Assalamualaikum, everyone. So why did I go into engineering? So as early as I can remember, my teacher always asked me, "What do you want to be when you grow up?" So one of the list is I want to become an engineer. So when I realized I can score in my academics, right, and then seeing my uncle as a chemical engineer with a good pay, so I say to myself, why don't I give it a try, right? Yes, it did apply uh, in my job as an engineer, right? For number one is the technical knowledge. Right? When we study engineering, we have all the basic fundamental principles and the theories, right? So this is within our grasp already, right? This this technical knowledge is important to provide solutions for our engineering problems. Number two is the design and analysis. um, I'm okay with basic AutoCADs, right? Because AutoCADs is used to optimize the engineering system. By using AutoCADs, you can see the overall plant systems, pipeline, everything, right? And then number three is the project management. Sorry for my voice. I lost my voice. Project management. So the whole thing, most of my working experience, right? It involves a lot of project management, a lot of budgeting, a lot of scheduling and plannings, right? This is important for you to execute your project successfully and to justify to your boss, right? Why you need this, why you have to do these kind of projects. The number four is the research and development. This one is for me. Maybe I can suggest you collaborate with your QC QC lab, right, to improve the existing products or your existing process efficiency. And the last one is the ethics and communications, right? Ethics is the work ethics, right? When we're working, we need to be professional, right? And communication wise, we have to be well versed minimum in English, right? Nowadays, English is a international language. If you have Mandarin, there's a added plus for you lah. All right, that's all.
All right, thank you.
Okay, thank you, Sharul.
Okay, to the next question.
Mm.
How do you ensure that your engineering design prioritize public safety above all other consideration?
Okay. I give you an example of done one of the simplest projects because I cannot declare all the projects, right? Because it's private and confidential. So one of the simplest project that we do is the installation of cyclone system in the canal crushing plant. Why we need to install the cyclones in canal crushing plant? Because our plant produce fine dust. So this installation of cyclones is to trap the fine dust and to provide good ambience in the plant. So how do I ensure my engineering design prioritize public safety? Uh, the first thing I do is identify the potential hazards and risk. Um, there's a fire hazard risk in my plant, fall risk at certain heights, um, and construction failure during installation. This one need to be taken account. And ergonomics mostly on physical ergonomics, back pain, body pain. Right? Then the second one is the establishment of the safety requirements. During material selections, you need to be detailed on that material selections. Either you choose to be on the expensive side, stainless steel, or the cheapest one, mild steel. Right. Then the structural integrity. When doing installation, right, they will always have scaffoldings or any supported beams. Yeah. So these safety requirements you have to establish for the structural integrity. The third one is the operational limitations. Not every plant have bigger space to do right to do the projects. So you need to identify which area have a constrained space, and from that find a solution of how you want to proceed with your projects. Okay, in terms of safety features, right? As an engineer, we need to stand by our emergency process shutdown in case there's a fire, in case there's an accident. How you going to shut your process down immediately, right? Without jeopardizing any of your raw material or your products, right? Protective barriers, common protective barriers. LOTO, what is LOTO? Lockout takeout, right? This one is for the control panel and for the safety of the staff and the contractors. Permit issuance. These three basic permits is important. Permit to work, work at height, and hot work permit. This is the three basic permits that you should have, right? Okay. Next one is the risk assessment. Uh, Risk assessment is the probability versus severity. This one is a common assessment. Every project that you do, you must have a risk assessment done before you proceed, right? Next is training and awareness. Training awareness is always ongoing. Educate your operators, educate your contractors, educate everyone that the project is ongoing. Clear instruction, clear guidelines, right? And after training is continuous monitoring, regular review. Don't leave your projects alone, right? Every day you need to review your projects, find any challenges and solve the challenges. Then the next one is engage with the stakeholders. If your factory is nearby the residential area, you need to have the skills to engage the stakeholders, village head, the district officers, the Department of Environment officers, Department of Occupational and Safety and Health officers, right? Sure. That's for the second question.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay,
Okay, for question number 3.
okay, boss.
Okay. Can you describe with specific, if you can,
But if you can't, we understand a project where you had to balance economic interest with the safety and well-being of the public. And how did you manage this balance?
Okay, so back to the general, the common projects lah, the installation of the cyclone system. All right, the number one that we do is the proposals lah. The proposals is you need to clearly write your goals and objectives, why you need to do that, right? Then from the proposal, you need to calculate your ROI. What is ROI? Return of investment. So for my company, return on investment should be less than 5 years. Should be no more than 5 years, right? Okay. Then after that, after the boss approve the preliminary proposal, then you should do your risk assessment. As I said earlier, every project must have a risk assessment. Conduct details, frequency versus severity assessment. Then after the risk assessment, cost benefit analysis. The ROI is dependent on your plant performance. Without your plant performance making profits, it's a no go for the project to proceed, right? So make sure your plant perform first before you proceed with the project. Then approach contractors to ensure the best and the cost effective solutions. For my side, minimum is three. For every job that you take in the future, you must have three price comparisons for you to choose the most cost effective solutions for your projects. Then after that, I will do a plan for my regular maintenance inspection, right? Regular maintenance inspection is a must for me to expand my project's lifetime, right? Because once the project is done, you need regular maintenance, preventive or corrective maintenance. You just couldn't leave it behind like that, right? Then after that, after maintenance and inspection, prepare your awareness training to create a safety conscious, okay? And then regulatory compliance, making sure that all the projects you do, right, all the projects that I do, especially the cyclone system, is compliance to DOE and DOSH. How do I make sure it's compliance? The third party contractor will send their calculations, everything from details specifications, and then the government body will either approve or they will visit the sites. They will discuss with us on how to improve and what is need to be changed. So during that period of time, uh, we need to take all their inputs and then uh, improve on our proposals to give it a go lah, for them to give a green light, because without approval from these government bodies, we also cannot proceed with the project. You can proceed, but it is considered illegal. And then last one is the communications. During projects ongoing commissioning, right? you must have you must go to you must go to the sites and see all the challenges and find solutions in terms of cost and safety, right? Even though the project is already ongoing, right, there is always a room for improvement in terms of cost and safety. And from that particular process, right, you can find how to say optimized solution for that. Right.
Thank you for
Okay.
question three. Okay, next question
Okay.
four.
Okay.
Okay, what measure do you take to minimize the environment impact of your engineering project?
What measures do I take to minimize? Okay. uh, for the environment aspects, right? Once you have the ISO 14001, the environmental management system, the basic thing you must have is the impact assessment. How to do impact assessment? It's almost the same as the safety risk assessment, but it's just in the environmental concept. So once you learn how to do the risk assessment, so you should be able to do the environmental impact assessment. So it includes all schedule waste, genset, emission control, noise control, air pollution. So everything detail is on the assessment. The next thing, how to minimize the environmental effect is the on the energy efficiency. In my place, we convert all the normal lights to LED. Right, LED can save a lot, right? Because it requires less power. And then proper insulation, natural lighting. If you have, because mine is close plan, right? So we change all the zinc, normal zinc to the translucent fiber zinc, translucent fiber rooftop to provide natural lighting during the day, and at night we just use the LED lighting. Next is the waste management. Normal waste management is like water bottles, metals, used oil. This one have to be in place in your factory, right? Okay, next is the reduce carbon footprints. How to reduce carbon footprints, right? Usually for Sabahan, right? We always ordered everything from West Malaysia, right? So everything, all the actions from West Malaysia, everything, all increase all the footprints, the carbon footprints. So why don't we give it a try? We hire local contractors, right, to reduce all these carbon footprints. Some contractors can provide competitive price also as per the West Malaysia's contractors, right? So that is one of the my way of reducing carbon footprints. And then, of course, continuous improvements, regular review, update your environment management systems. Any new project, you must daily review with your colleagues, right? Finding the best ways, best methods, and also review your impact assessment in between. All right.
All right. Thank you for the specific answer.
Okay.
Okay. Next question number 5.
Mm.
Okay. How do you address the social cultural implication of your
Mm.
engineering work within the communities you serve?
Okay. So my plan is near to the village residential area lah. So most of the communities there is Bugis and Bajau communities, right? So you need to understand the communities, their limitations, their culture, right? Um, and also what event they celebrate or the passing of the loved ones. You need to be able to get the grasp lah. As an engineer, you have to lead your way through the communities there. Yeah, it's not just you. You don't work alone. You need to work with everyone. And then the next one is engaging with the stakeholders. Stakeholders is the village head, as I mentioned earlier, village head, district government officers, residents. Um, it's not that I say daily, meeting them daily. It's just regularly meet up with them and then ask for their concerns. And especially during festive seasons, I think company have some investment on giving some sort of hampers and everything for the residents. And then last one, involve with the community. If you are soccer players, futsals, involve with the communities there, right? Uh, have weddings, you attend, right? And understanding their eventually they will be open to you, and then they will raise their issues, and from there, from the issues that they highlighted, then you can improve the effectiveness of your engineering works. Uh, mm,
All right. Thank you.
okay,
Next for the question number 6.
number six. Okay.
Okay. In what way do you incorporate sustainability principle into your engineering design and practice?
In what ways do you incorporate sustainability principles? There's a call. There's a saying called no, there's a principle called life cycle assessment. Right, is to evaluate the environment impacts of the products, process, projects, from raw materials to products to disposal or recycling. Um, I give it an example of my kernel crushing plant. Our raw material is the palm kernel expeller. So the storage limitation that we set is must be less than 2 days. Why? It's because of the mold growth. Yeah, it will affect the process. It will affect the quality. For the process itself, we use expeller machine. Expeller machine, 12 to 14 days. We need to serve. We need to service the machine. Why we need to service? If more than 14 days, it will increase the noise impact pollution. Right. So we need to service to reduce this impact pollution. Right. And the last one is the product is the CPKO, is a crude palm kernel oil. We need to store it in a tight tank, right? Once produced, we need to transfer it in a tight tank for shipment immediately. Why? It's because of the accumulation of the moisture, right? During raining seasons, it's very difficult to store your oil for so long, yeah, because you don't want oil to have higher moisture value, right? And then for solids products is the palm kernel expeller. Palm kernel expeller is very sensitive. Yeah, we need to retain the temperature by water spraying system, and then we need to segregate the palm kernel expeller almost daily, mixed and segregate to avoid mold growth. Mold growth is a bioreaction that can produce fire hazard, right? And then after life cycle assessment, uh, we go with the green engineering, safer chemicals, right? I've used food grade engineering greasings for bearings, and then food grade oils for pumps. Doesn't mean that food grade you can eat, but it's better than the normal one, right? And then energy efficiency, again, natural lighting, transparent, right? Try to reduce all your electricity, your utility, right, by using normal natural lighting, high efficiency motors, and high efficiency motors. And the last one is the water conservation projects, right? I believe if all factory, right, we have a raining season, so why don't so what we do is we implement the rainwater harvesting system in the plant, right? So the rainwater, we will send to the water treatment plant to be treated, then send back to us as a treated water, right?
All right, thank you.
Mm.
For the next question, Bayhaki will ask you, the next question. Okay.
Okay, thank you, Sharul.
All right, thank you,
Okay.
Sharul. So we proceed to the next question. Uh, can you provide an example of how you are navigated conflicting interests between economic development and also environmental preservation in your project?
Okay, thank you for the question. By Haki, right? Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so back to the project's installation of the cyclone system again. Example of how I navigate conflicting interest economics, right? Uh, First, engage with the stakeholders. Again, engage with the stakeholders, consult with the local communities on your projects, and gather their understanding. If I don't do this cyclone system, what happened? There will be air pollution, because every day we produce a lot of concentration of dust. So this cyclone system is a must, and I believe once you explain it thoroughly, I explain it to the residential, to the villagers, and they agree. So we installed a few years already. So the next one I do is impact assessment, environment impact assessment. noise pollution impact, air pollution impact. Uh, yeah. So and then ROI, return on investment. Then from there, I do the monitoring system for the noise pollution. Right. Uh, I will approach a third party contractor, and then they will do a monitoring noise decibels point, right, where certain areas of they will identify certain areas of high decibels noise, and then from there we will implement our safety guidelines, right, for example, when the worker approach that area, they need to wear they need to wear an earplug, right, otherwise it will affect the drums, right? And we have cases of staff having noise impairment, right? And then say for the air pollution also, we provide approach the third party contractor. Air pollution, they have the index, so they know what they're doing, so they will give us reports, and from there we will know that our how to say our projects are successful or not, right? And then last one is the organize site visits. I organize site visits. Usually, uh, site visits happen. We organize site visits after the project completion. It's not during the project commissioning, because there's a lot of safety procedure that need to be taken account, right? So site visit after the project finish, and we show to the villagers how the system works, and then create awareness to the villagers, and hopefully when the system is successful, and they will notice also less dust to their residential areas. Okay.
Right. Thanks, Mr. Amree, for your
Mm.
answer.
Okay,
Next
that's
question.
fine. Sure.
Next. How do you stay updated on the latest advancement and best practice in engineering to ensure your work meets the highest standards of safety and sustainability?
Okay, how do I stay updated? Usually, this one is on the HR side, lah. Right? What they do, every year they will send us to regular events, conferences, expo, and this is done almost every year, lah, once or twice, lah. Okay, so and then, but then personally, I can also search. We also can search the ongoing events, right, through social medias. Nowadays, social medias is very vast, and then for you guys, engineers, for us, we try to register with BEM, Board of Engineers Malaysia, because they will provide a lot of infos and the current events that you can join, right? Continuous education, regular site visits to your sister company. I have a sister company because I was in Kuna, then I have a sister company in Lahadatu and Sandakan. So we share our knowledge. We always communicate with each other, staying updated, and then comparing our performance with each other, and then find a good way to improve our plans through their own perspective also, right? And then the next one is when you subscribe to BM, you will receive a newsletters, right? Or any engineering sites besides BEM, right? Locally or overseas also can, right? And then others such as follow your role model engineers, collaborate with your multidisciplinary teams, right? Sometimes you don't look down on your foreman, right? For your foreman have a vast experience, right? Sometimes you just need to ask the right question for them to answer for them to give the solutions that you want, right? And then last one is once you have the knowledge, try to implement and share, and don't keep for yourself.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Amree. Next question.
Okay. Mm.
Okay. What steps do you take to ensure that your engineering solutions are accessible and equitable for all members of society?
What steps do I take to ensure? Okay. So I've trying to think about this for quite a while because I'm not a part of the manufacturing engineer or the third party contractors. They will answer this question more details lah. But what I can say is that try to find an affordable, effective materials like the one I highlight, normal zinc to fiber types, right? Implement energy efficiency technologies, right? LED lighting, accessible features because your teammates might be uh, visual or how to say, visual or hearing impairment. So as an engineers, we have to have the materials for that particular group of teammates, right? And then last one, provide consistent training for the operators to maintain the solutions effectively. Training is a good way for you guys, for us to maintain everything, right? Maintain our process, create awareness among the staffs, right? Eventually, it will be effective for the it will be maintain the solutions more effectively.
All right.
Mhm.
Thank you. Next question.
Mm.
Uh, can you discuss the situation where you had to make a difficult ethical decision in your engineering work, considering its potential impacts on various stakeholders and also the environment?
Okay, as I mentioned earlier, my plant is only nearby to the village area, lah. So there's a lot of challenges, right? I don't have challenges on my engineering work part or any project, but it's just the plant itself, right? So the plant itself is always on the watch list of the Department of Environment, DOE, right? So, for every plant, they will have boilers, right? They will have boilers for sure, right? Because these boilers will provide steam, will generate steam for the process itself, right? And the boilers will emit smokes, right? These smokes, if the process is not good, then the black smokes will go out like crazy, right? And this is the concerns for every engineers who taking care of the boilers, right? So one of the few of the pollution control system in place that I see what they do because I'm not in charge of the boilers. So what I see they do is they install a ash collection system, right? They install a electrostatic precipitator. It's using electrostatic concepts, right? It collects the dust and then let the clean air pass through, and then regular plant maintenance, right? And then CAQMS and then CEMS. What is that? Is the continuous air quality monitoring system and the continuous emission monitoring system. This is all done through the third party DOE third party service provider, right? Regular plant maintenance is a good saying, but for boss, they don't like regular plant maintenance. Why? You need to stop plant and no profit, right? So when the boss give green lights to do regular plant maintenance, you have to do it efficiently, right? If so that it won't affect once you start up again, it won't you won't have to shut down again after 2 days, right? So engineers part is very critical during plant shutdown. You need to be very detailed to the core, right? And then but despite the initial resistance from the villages, right, at the early stage, um, right, they eventually agree to the plant establishment, because of the business growth, the business development growth in that particular area, and also we can hire locals, right? We can hire locals, and this provide a good job opportunity for them, taking care of their family. without even going so far to the West Malaysia. Okay.
All right. Thank you
Okay.
for your impactful explanation, Mr.
Okay.
Amree.
All right.
Okay, the next question. How has engineering changed over the past years, and how do you see it changing in the future? It would be good to have a detailed analysis in terms of percentage of market of engineering jobs available.
Okay. During my time, what I know is only four: civil, mechanical, electrical, chemical. Right. Then when I graduate, I found it to be more specialized. There's aerospace, biomedical, or environment managers. Right. I search in the Google. Then Department of Statistics. This one is 4 years prior, 2020. 200,000 engineers were hired, about 7% of the total workforce of that particular company. So then the BEM also sent out the statistics of average engineer graduate is around 16,000 a year. So imagine a lot of engineers in Malaysia. So I believe over the years, right, it will be moved towards automation and digitalization. Automation, more to automation. Then green engineering for sustainable energy. And then we're focusing on sustainable energy. And also maybe remote work because COVID, everyone work from home. So it is feasible. Engineers can work from home, right? And then I found a resource from a job thing, right? Top seven highest demand of engineers. Number one is electrical. Moving forward, digitalization and automation, electrical engineers. Number one is the number one demand. Number two, mechanical, civil, software, environment. You guys is mechanical, right? So mechanical will be number two.
All right.
So chemicals and biomedicals is the last one.
All right. Thank you again,
Mm,
Mr. Amree,
mm.
for answering all the questions.
Okay, no worries.
Then I will pass to our MC, Ikmal, to continue our interview session.
Okay.
Okay.
Next slide. Okay. Mr. Amri,
Yes.
considering your successful career and the vast experience you have garnered in the engineering sector, our fellow students and I are eager to hear any advice or suggestion you could share. Is there any suggestion or advice can you give to us?
Advice as an engineering student, sir.
Yes.
Just study hard. Most important thing is when I work right, everyone is going to judge you based on your soft skills, right? If you are not approachable, if you are not unable to present, then that is one of the weakest points, lah, right? Uh, Once you work, try to have a good work ethic, right? There's always a saying Malay is lazy or what, but try to prove that they are wrong, right? We have a good work ethics, a good time management skills, right? And then eventually the rest is berserah lah, tawakal.
Okay. Thank you for your dedicated answer.
Okay,
As
boss.
next slide. As we conclude this enlightening session, I would like to extend our deepest gratitude to Mr. Amri
Yeah.
for taking the time to share his invaluable insight and experiences with us. Your participation has significantly enriched our understanding of the engineering profession and will surely influence our approach to our studies and future careers. Thank you also to our interviewers and technicians who facilitated today's discussion. We appreciate everyone's involvement in making this interview a success. I, as a representative, would like to thank you very much. To
Okay. Thank you, Akmal. Thank you, Baihaki. Thank you, Sharul. Thank you, Rafida. Thank you, Muhammad.
that's all from us. Thank you.
Okay, Assalamualaikum.
Okay,
Waalaikumsalam.
thank you. Assalamualaikum. Waalaikumsalam.
Thank you.
Okay, boleh off lah kan?
Dah boleh.
Okay, boleh.
Okay, bos.